take you to Mokon. Punk is awesome style. Awesome style. Punk is awesome style. Hey, mi khmau. Chá, anh Klong chơi mà, anh bắt tay mà. Anh Klong chơi mà, anh không được chết. Yí, mình đi. Đã khơi nhỉ. Nhom sờ lạnh sấy tôi cho mong sủi. À bro, anh phải nhắc tôi na nè.
What? I gotta go to this little Craze concert, Dad.
So those vignette videos are from my guest today for Artist Spotlight and in Conversation. My name is Seyon. With the United Cambodian Community, and today we are highlighting Hella Chluy, who you said. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You grew up in Long Beach, but you're based in New York now.
No, not Long Beach. I'm from Seattle, Washington, but I'm based in New York now. Yeah. So my family, we immigrated to Seattle in 1984, I believe, and that's where most of my family is. But like we stayed at like South Seattle for like I want to say like till like 1988 or 89ish, and then we moved 2 hours south in a small town called Kelso, Washington, south of Seattle, and that's where I grew up. Went to school there and until I graduated high school. So it's a small town. Actually, a lot of Cambodians moved there from like Seattle because of like the like the berries, the berry picking, just close to picking like berries and mushrooms and jobs like that.
I had some family that moved there too after the 90s, like in the early 90s. That's where a lot of people were moving away because of violence in Long Beach. I have siblings that moved to Las Vegas, cousin that moved to Kirkland, Washington State. So you came to America in 1984?
Right. I was born in a Khmer Rouge refugee camp in 1983, and came in 84. So I don't remember anything about my babies. I think my memory starts from like when I was like 5 or 6.
Here in America.
In America, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like another conversation for growing up in the refugee camp. So you were born in a refugee camp?
Yeah, in the refugee camp, Khmer Rouge, and then I think my parents, like my family, we were sent to the Philippines for a few, so I think they could learn some basic English or whatever, and like get their certificate, and then we were sponsored to Seattle, and that's where my family started out.
Yeah. Can you bump up your volume a little bit more? Somehow it just.
Yeah, let me check. How about? I think this mic I have to be close. So how about now?
Yes. Okay. There you go. Okay. Yeah. I think a lot of people either went through different countries via those countries like the Philippines. I think we also did too. To come to we went to Iowa for our country.
Oh, really?
For our state sponsor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of your work. I know you include, like that last video, you include a lot of the, I don't know, would you say like your homies or the community? It actually has a lot of commentaries on, like one of the video is like the parent getting frustrated with the teenage children, whether they're boy or girl in this country, and there's like a generational gap a little bit between languages and understanding of, say, the old way of living in Cambodia, or the norms that they brought in with them, but now the kids are growing up in this country with the new language and the new way of being. And how do you see that, and how do you try to make sense of it through your art?
At first, like it was like a trend on YouTube where it was like things New Yorkers say, stuff Koreans say. Like before that, I was kind of like new to YouTube, just trying to see what's going on online, you know. So I searched if there was a Cambodian version. So there wasn't a Cambodian version yet. So I decided to just shoot on my little iPhone 4, I believe, or iPhone 3GS, I think. I shot it like handheld for the first one, the Cambodian Folks Say Part 1. That was the one that went viral, and then which led to that one that we just played, Part 2. It was just like basically just lectures from my parents that I remember, and then, you know, just trying to like uh make relatable, but with my type of humor. You know, it's just like, you know, just for fun. You know, I didn't expect nothing to come out of it. Mainly just for entertainment, just to see what happens. And then next thing you know, it went viral, and then people were tweeting it, and a lot of shares on Facebook. So prior to that, I didn't have no interest in like doing any comedy skits or any stuff like that. Like comedy wasn't even my thing. I was a full blown like rap artist. I was trying to make rap music in English, you know. So when that happened, like, oh, I started building like kind of like a community of followers. So I'm like, you know, I got to keep doing my comedy stuff too, like Khmer
Mm-hmm.
American comedy, which I call Khmenglish, because I'm not fully fluent. You know, I could understand it fully,
Oh, I
but I
like
just
that.
mix it with English.
English.
Yeah. So I guess that's that generational gap that I've been, you know, that a lot of people relate. A lot of people like my age. I'm in 30.
Hey, did you coin that term, or who did? English, because you know
uh,
it can be a thing now, because like Spanglish, because it's like, wait, because I was thinking about that too, working in the community, because
yeah.
so my background is Cambodian, but I grew up in a Laotian family.
Okay.
So we speak two languages, but when I left too early uh, uh, during the war, and my parents didn't want me to speak Khmer anymore, or teach me, because of the history.
Right.
And so, yeah, and then so when we try to help the community, we use English and Khmer, especially like people in my position. That,
Yeah. So are
but
you Lao Nha? Lao Nha?
oh yeah, yes, Lao Nha,
Yeah, I have a friend. I have a friend from Long Beach that's Lao Nha. So I know about Lao Nha. So
uh-huh,
that's cool.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, we as a lot of my elders keep telling me, it's like we're the same people. You know, I think a lot of the history, perhaps, um, people may be divided based on the loss and the what happened with the war and the genocide. Um, there's, you know, we continue to rebuild within ourselves as individuals, and then as well as a community. And so when I was my younger self, when somebody would tell me that, well, we're all the same people, I'm like, wait, but then they did that to us, or they did that to so and so, but then who are they? But we're the same people, you know. So
Right.
and it took me a little while to wrap my head around that, and to look at the history as well for myself, you know, about what happened. I mean, there was, honestly, it was a really an ugly period during that time. I mean, it wasn't just Cambodia; it was like, you know, Vietnam that led up to it, and other people that had their um, ideas in it that
Right.
help influence. And so it's um, the I just want to. Well, I don't want it to deter from your conversation with you,
No, I
but
can
you
relate
know.
to it. I can relate to it because I'm picturing like when I was like 5, 6 years old, my parents played the Killing Fields movie to my, for us to watch, me and my
Hmm.
siblings. So we were taught at an early age about what my parents went through to get us here. So it was tough to watch. I remember crying with them. Watching the Killing Fields. My mom said it was like, this is kind of realistic depiction of what happened, so see my parents cry and we just all cry together. So, I could still remember it. And, like I said, like my memory goes back to like 5, 6 years old, and I remember watching it with my family. So definitely like, I was, I was really, it was too young for me to process, but now like, every time, we speak on it, it's like very emotional. So it's like, I just like, I still got a lot to learn, like it's like, it's hard to watch like movies and like first they killed my father, but just like another point of view of, I think it's important to, read books and watch movies on it. And, because I was too young to know. I think I wasn't even born yet. So I was like, it's tough what our people had to go through. So
Yeah, it's that the movie First They Killed My Father. I think it's there's so many of movies like that out right now too around that topic. Like In the Life of Music is also one of them, but it does not deal with the war so much. But I know it's out there. Proj just shared that they won an award, and that movie is accessible online now, so you can check your providers. But I also enjoy that movie from a young person's perspective too, like a person that was in their, I believe, in their 20s, that was going back to Cambodia and reconnecting and make sense of what happened for themselves. Just connect their American identity with their Cambodian identity.
definitely you gotta check it out. And there was also like this Funan. Have you seen that one? It was like a
No,
cartoon.
I was gonna
Yeah,
mention it, but I haven't seen it yet. I know it's an
yeah,
animation, and I thought,
yeah.
did you see it?
I watched it, but I think I gotta watch it again. Like my attention, like sometimes I space out when I watch like movies. Like I'm, I just need to sit down and watch it again. It's kind of
Okay,
distracting to have a dog. He always wants to go walk and stuff. So
yeah. What about when I hear about movies about mm, Cambodian genocide or Khmer Rouge, I'm a little bit. I have a warning light for my mental health that goes off. I don't know if that does it for you as well. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to revisit that. But then when I do watch it, like, First They Kill My Father, which I also read the book as well. And to me, I think the movie is better. So,
yeah.
yeah,
I don't really get any trauma, but I was interested to watch and see, try to get like a mental picture of like, what my parents went through. Because, I was born in '83. That happened like, what, 75 to what, 79, right? So I, I'm interested in seeing, like what, I just want to see what, I feel like it's important to see, all see everything. Well, kind of like, what our parents went through. So
yeah.
just to appreciate what, you know, life. They want,
Yeah, I think continue to connect with your parents. I mean, my parents have both died now, um, and I asked them questions when they were alive, and it's hard topic to bring up, and so it could be triggering for them. They may not want to revisit it, um, but there's various ways of cautiously approaching, I think, and also um, making sure somebody's in the right frame of mind, and then to have that discussion. It doesn't have to be like a hard discussion, but just like a little question, or taking them to the movie and
yeah,
and then talk about it afterwards. I
right.
think it's important for our community to do that, to continue to keep searching um, and self heal through various things.
I agree. Yeah, yeah. I think my parents were like, they were they were willing to talk about it, but I'm not, because like they played the killing fields for me to watch. So at an early age, and they were trying to educate me and my brothers and sisters. So So, but you know, we all had tears, so it was like I'm pretty sure it was tough for them to even revisit that or just probably have flashbacks. They probably have PTSD, you know. But
Yes, yes.
now
So,
I know, you know, so I get an idea.
mm-hmm. All right, so let's move on to another question.
All right.
So do you have a team? Do you? So I know you. Okay, so you're a musician and you also do these parodies, um, and then some of them your work is like hybrid, you know, of music with messages. I mean, they both have messages, but I you probably feel like you get a lot of support because it went viral. Can you talk about maybe around the community support and the reaction to it, maybe your peers as well?
Um, my music or like my parodies or just
Maybe start
my
with the music first, and you're still doing that, right? Because we just
yeah.
shared your latest video or one of your little videos.
Well, there were earlier videos, but yeah, I'm still doing music. Music will always be like, you know, my passion. But like comedy was kind of just something I've always been kind of like making my friends laugh, you know, but comedy was pretty new, you know. So I kept on just try to just try to have fun mainly and just try to think of like scenarios where a lot of it's like parental lectures, you know, stuff like that and uh, but I try to incorporate my music with my comedy, so kind of like the Weird Al approach, Weird Al Yankovic doing parodies. So that became my niche. You know, I found my niche, and you know, for a few years, that became kind of like my bread and butter. So I really enjoyed doing it. You know, like taking top 40 hits and just adding my English humor with it. You know, like my English. So like the Justin Bieber video is probably one of my most popular. I think a lot of my followers were from Cambodia. You know, they really liked that video, and you know, so I think a lot of them, a lot of the people in Cambodia were just like got a lot of support from them as far as like
Yeah, let's talk about
YouTube.
that a little bit because when you're talking about work that is online, uh, where everybody can access it, and how do you perhaps it could even be like a certain topic that, you know, say Cambodia or other country that may not be aware of what is happening. Perhaps they also want to see a glimpse of American lives and
Oh
how
right.
people Khmer in America are living and expressing themselves. And I mean, how do you how important is that? Do you think to have a voice, perhaps for the voiceless?
I think it's important to yeah as like Khmer American. I definitely wanted to show people my style of video and just kind of just have fun on you know just show the Khmer American way. You know, like I'm pretty sure like people abroad they see the videos, they see like skyscrapers or whatever. They're like, wow, they live differently in America. You know, they're you know I'm in New York, so it's like a lot of my videos take place in New York and Philly. I go to Philly because, long story short, like my team, like you asked about my team. So early on, JL Jupiter was my camera guy. You know, that's how he started. You know, and we just clicked up. Like he's one of the first people I met when I moved to New York. So because I was searching on YouTube like best Khmer rapper, and his video showed up. He's a rapper himself, so it was like I hit him up like, yo, let's make a song, and then we did a song together, and then we just became really good friends. And he started picking up video as one of his, you know, his passions. So he became good at it, and just early on, just started shooting a whole bunch of videos for me. And a lot of our stuff was just run and gun. You know, we just go with the flow. We never had any scripts. Even with the comedy, he shot some of my comedy skits, a lot of it. So it was like on his iPhone. So it was like most of my stuff is like unscripted improv off the top. So it was like, and that's the way I've been doing it up until now. You know, I'm still doing it that way. I feel like you don't want to overthink. Just shoot and upload, and just the power of social media. I try to stay hip with the new social media apps. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm just trying to stay hip. Sometimes follow some trends, do some trends, but add my little humor to it. I just been blessed to just be able to like keep entertaining. My goal is to entertain. Bring pure joy and entertainment. Just make somebody's day. Like I feel like we need to laugh. This is laughter is the best medicine. So I was like, that's my goal. I didn't really care about like people think I'm famous or whatever. Like clout. I
Mhm.
never. That was never my goal. I just wanted to stay active. And just have fun. This is what I love to do. So
Yeah, and I do see that through your video too, and through your posts. You don't take yourself seriously, and you look like you enjoy the work. And I'm glad you were able to connect with that other rapper. You guys were not friends yet when you found him, right?
no, not yet. Like he was just actually responded to my DM, and then he like, yo, come to my house, and then and we made a song together, and then I met his family, and
Uh,
meeting a Khmer family in the East Coast. It was like the first like kind of like I felt like they welcomed me with open arms. I came here with like a friend at the time, but I'm here alone. Now, no, so it's like I didn't have any Khmer friends. He was like my first Khmer friend in the East Coast.
oh, so cool.
Yeah, so he's like my brother. So I look up to him. He also gave me a lot of good like life advice too. Like, he's always looking out for me.
Yeah,
So he's the one that said that pushed me to lose weight. So I lost weight. So because he cared, but real friends will tell you up front, like that you need to make changes. So
oh
he's
God,
always
that
been an
is
inspiration. So shout
yeah,
out to
that is
Jay.
good. I
Yeah.
mean, did you say, "Hey, what are you saying to me?" What are you? You didn't get offended or anything? Because
uh,
some people do, right? Because they're like,
Maybe at first I was like, yeah, I was kind of knucklehead. I was kind of hard headed, but like I think it was like the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, he told me I should lose weight because I was looking at the videos and like I'm jumping up and down because just happy for him because like it's their first Super Bowl. So I saw my belly just jiggling when I was jumping. I'm like, yo, that's not me. I don't like the way I look. Most important, I don't
yeah,
like the way I feel. So I'm like, yo, I did it for myself. I definitely want to. Health is wealth. You gotta take care of yourself.
that is so true. It's I mean, I'm glad he mentioned something to you, and even though you were a little offended in the beginning, but you actually you respect him, and you also took his advice, and it's important for you, right?
Yeah,
Because I know a lot of in our community, um, people perhaps may be suffering from various chemical dependency and then not be able to address it, or afraid to speak up to their family member within their own household
right.
about it,
Exactly.
and then and it could lead to various health issues.
Yeah,
So,
definitely changed my life. It's great. I'm grateful for friends like that because I was kind of like I was really like it like my health wasn't good. I always felt tired, sluggish. Now and I feel good, and I like the way I look. I like I like the way I feel. And
oh yeah, and I
I don't
saw
have
the
no
one
joint
that
pain. Nothing like that.
uh-huh, uh-huh, and I saw that video that you were like leaping and kicking. Gosh,
Yeah, I was doing like kicks, 540 kicks. But I was like, still kind of on the heavy side then. So it was like,
yeah, yeah, but the way you
I was,
leaped, you were like a ballerina dancer or something because you were just so graceful.
yeah, yeah,
And
martial arts background. Like, I think I skipped that part, but like, growing up as a teenager, martial arts was my passion, my first love. I was in
yeah,
Taekwondo for like my teen years and was a black belt and everything. So it was like, that was really what I wanted to do. But
hmm
music came and it just kind of changed my path. I wanted to do so many different things, man. I was all over the place. Like I couldn't stay still. I couldn't do one thing.
yeah, yeah. So, hopefully I can find that video and share it here, because I just think it's amazing. Um, so how do you, how important do you think is it to have like your friend, a supportive team, in your community, in your creative community? Like,
It's it's very important. I have like a really small team. But most of the people on my team is like people I grew up as kids. You know, like my best friend is my webmaster. He does my website, but he's also McNub, man. I call him McNub, but he's like the Swiss Army knife on my team. Makes my beats. uh, he's also kind of like a motivator too. Like, you know, he'll tell me to, you know, he'll tell me like just get my life together. And he makes my beats. He does my website. What else does he do? He does everything. he gets me plug-in software I need to succeed. You know, if I need a certain plugin, he got me on that. Also AP, he's kind of like he taught me like how to engineer, like how to make my music sound good. You know, like we're kind of geek. I'm like a geek. You know, I really enjoy the process of making music. Like, you know, like recording myself, mixing. I learned a lot of that from AP. He's also an R&B singer himself, and we co-wrote a few songs together. So he's really talented, and he does the you know, the instruments. So he makes the production. And a lot of beats, his brother, he does the production as well. He did my whole album in 2019, and you just like people I grew up with, you know, like since babies. So I kind of like want to keep it that way, like just keep the, you know, the people that we kind of like share the same dream. We just want to we just want to get our music heard, or just want to, like, you know, get involved in some way somehow. If it's not being artists, it's some, you know, like writing, maybe writing for the next generation. You know me, you know, stuff like that. And that's what we want to do, or just do what we love, just have fun with, you know. And that's my team, and I think it's
That's
important
good.
to have a solid team. And we communicate daily, you know, group message, you know, like messenger. So it's like,
Yeah, great to have a able team and people that's have the same focus, and you know, and that wants to see you do well. Um, are there are there has there been some challenges in the beginning? Do you, because I had asked about, you know, the support from the community, and you know, your video went viral. What about have you had any kind of negative things that comes towards you, and if you can share what that was?
oh yeah, like it comes with it. Like yeah, I think definitely have a lot of hate comments on my videos, or just people just hate me, just just
Like
the way I look.
what would they be?
They'll
Like,
just like a lot of them will just like like make comments about me being cross-eyed. Like my, you know, I'm like, yo, that's like I'm born that way, so it's like, you know, I can't do nothing about it. But it's like, you know, it's like they always mention that, but you know, I learned to just like brush it off. It's like it doesn't affect me because, you know, like a lot of people are cross-eyed. Like Notorious B.I.G. was cross-eyed. You know, like you know, like a lot of, like, you know, people that they love or, you know, it's just kind of like, you know, something you're born with, and you just learn to
mhm.
embrace it. So it's like I feel like that's like a dumb reason to hate on somebody. You know, like
Yeah, I think it comes down to also
yeah,
people. I think uh, in a community, maybe they just feel like it's easy to judge somebody's appearance, and
right.
then I think you're really inspiring, though. You know,
Thank you.
to be able to put yourself out there and to do the songs, and to promote awareness and family dynamics. But then there's these other people that perhaps maybe I want to say maybe they're jealous. I mean, you think that could be the thing too, because you're like, wow, you're
Yeah.
actually
Well,
putting yourself out
it could
there.
be, yeah, or like some of them, I get the comments where like, you're making our culture look bad when you know, like how am I making the culture look bad? I'm just trying to have fun and just trying to put a smile on people's face, and you know, like you either I feel like you have to laugh, you know, like I feel like I just want to entertain, man. Like how I'm making the culture look bad, you know. If anything, I'm making, you know, I'm trying to like keep the culture alive, you know, with comedy. I don't see a lot of like my comedy, you know, growing up. Like I used to grow up watch like Krum, Loto, you know, like, you know, the, like the
What
OGs of
is that
my
about?
comedy. So they're like the OGs of Khmer comedy in Cambodia. Like my parents used to watch them. So Takram and Apao, like they're like the
Like
from
on
way back.
stage?
Yeah, they did like a. Well, I remember Kram. He used to come. I think he did a tour in the U.S. like in the early '90s, and it was a big sellout show. Like he was doing parodies, or he was lip syncing a Michael Jackson "Bad" in Seattle. I'm like, whoa, the whole Cambodian community lost their mind. It was so funny, It's like dang. It was kind of like the Cambodian Weird Al before, like it was so funny. So he was dancing like Michael. He had the mustache. He had the Charlie Chaplin look. He had that little mustache. But he's one of the big, originators of Khmer comedy from back then. So I'm like, I feel
Yeah.
like now, like I gotta kind of continue. Maybe not like because I'm not fluent. I wouldn't consider myself like Khmer comedy. I'm like Khmer American comedy. Just I want the people to see the way we live in America. Like the Khmer American way. Just like because we're different.
Yeah, I mean,
How we're raised over here, how we do things, how we live life is different from how the motherland people live.
well, definitely we have. I mean, we here in America have a lot more access, and also, I guess, perhaps more freedom to speak out more. But I'm wondering, I mean, I think comedy and humor has a way to talk about difficult topic as well, to make light of it, but still look at that problem. I mean, like one of your video that I shared in the beginning about the parent being frustrated with their teen kids, perhaps if they're on their phone too much or if they're playing game too much. Perhaps they feel like they're losing control of the child somehow, and they're just frustrated. So, and that's actually a real problem, right? Because a lot of people just sometimes they get stuck into that these techie mechanism, and then they're just immersed in it.
Yeah, and you kind of I think what people related to was like back in the day, like everything we did was like, you trying to join a gang? That's "Hang Jung to gang" was kind of like the catchphrase that stuck with the people. So it's like I remember growing up, everything I did, my parents would say, accuse me of wanting to join a gang. I used to wear like a red flannel shirt, wear some Dickie jeans. That's what everybody was wearing, And growing up, we're just like, kind of we were watching MTV, so hip hop was part of our life, just MC Hammer, and then NWA. It's just like something that just kind of pick up, just you want to be like them on, So it's like I wore my hat to the side or back or Hanjong to gang. So it's like I get it, right? Gang was like it's part of our history. So it's like parents' worst fears, like if we join a gang, so.
Right. I know the media can influence our outward appearance, and then perhaps the connection to the neighborhood that we live, and and there could be some other issues that come up around gangs or visibility that one could look like a gang member just by association of appearance. Yeah, it's a whole slew of things, but I think people perhaps shouldn't be so afraid and then react towards violence. It's just all right. Let's. What projects are you working on right now? Are you having anything coming up? Are you?
Right now I'm focused on just kind of I don't know. Mainly my main focus right now is just I started my podcast like in August, so I think I'm on episode 27 now. So just trying to be consistent with that, and it's going pretty good.
What topics do you cover?
It's a little about everything. A lot of it are Khmer guests, but I'm open to having guests from all walks of life. More recent topics, I interviewed my immigration attorney, Samrat Sar from Portland, Oregon. He gave some really good information about like like justice, like just representation and just stuff like that. Like immigration law and deportation and stuff like that. And
Ooh, okay. So sorry to interrupt. So how important do you think then it's around topics of immigration and civic engagement, say, people registering to vote and participating actively like that? Because, we just got Suli Saro here in Long Beach. She's
oh
the new
yeah,
councilwoman for the 6th district.
congratulations,
Yeah,
Susie
yay,
Saro,
yay,
yeah.
Suli. The like how important is it for our community to have a voice, like the Latino are the largest
Mm.
minorities in the United States now, and they have a lot of representation in offices. And so do you think so do you think that's important for us to get involved ex communities?
Oh yeah, I think it's super important to get involved with like voting and stuff like that. I think I've shared the census for you guys as well. So it's like it's important to have representation for our community. Like s- it helps with like funding and stuff like that for the community, and we definitely need to be involved more. Like change comes from voting, and stuff like that. So I voted this year for the first time ever, so I feel good, like that help make a change, and definitely want to continue voting, even if it's on a local scale. It all counts, and but definitely the community, my community, definitely, we should definitely vote for like you know for matters that are important to us. Like I think it's definitely important to just be involved in community stuff too as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Whether
I
it be
totally agree.
nonprofit, whether it be like UCC stuff like that, or like
Hmm.
Khmer Buddhist Association stuff, like temple stuff. Just getting involved, I feel like it's
Yes. Yeah, just get involved. I think that is an important message. Um, whether, if you go into different candidates, by the way, just because, say somebody that looks like you may not agree with their idea either. So you have to like do a little bit research on that just to make
important.
sure, um, that you're voting for the right person. So,
Right.
definitely be involved. Um, let's see. We are coming towards an end here for our meeting. Do you have, so how can people support you? Is there anything you want to promote right now? And then how can people support you to keep you working?
Sure. You guys can support my podcast. I think it's really it's something I've been new to me. Just being more open and having conversation with like just people from our community, but also like highlight sharing my platform with like small businesses, up and comers, you know artists that I'm a fan of, whether it be music, and I'm continuing like I'm always looking to interview other people as well, from all over. I'm interviewing people from the motherland as well. So it's like my podcast, it's called Chili Talk Podcast. I drop a new video every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and it's right on my main channel on YouTube. So
Mm.
if you haven't subscribed to my channel, it's youtube.com Hella Chluy. And as far as my content, every day is kind of like I've been really motivated this year to just stay active, whether it be short form comedy. I'm doing a lot of new TikTok videos, comedy, short form comedy, that and just having fun, and TikTok's becoming one of my favorite social media platforms, because I feel like I'm just learning it, just building a community from scratch. A lot of them, I guess, I'm getting a lot of new followers from the motherland too, so it's pretty cool.
Mm.
So, and I'm on Instagram too, Hella Chluy, and Facebook, Hella Chluy.
I'll put all those links
Mhm.
in the chat on YouTube when we share this talk.
Yeah, sounds good. And stay tuned to new music as well. I have a lot of music recorded, and it's just a matter of putting it out and just timing and finding a way to shoot a video creatively in a pandemic. I don't really want to go out in public and just shoot. And I can, but we'll see. I some of these songs I have are with my friends back home, so I might have to make it somehow.
Very
But
good.
I'm not in no hurry to travel as well. Definitely gotta be safe in well, in the pandemic. COVID's still out there, so I'm in no rush. So might just have to green screen it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for all that shout out to your links and things. Again, it's going to be at the below link on the YouTube channel. And is there anything else you want to share? Any way to people to support you besides watching your channels and subscribing?
I think that's it. I just want to thank you for having me on your show, and support everything UCC's been doing, and all the organizations you're involved in. Thank you for having me, and excited for what's to come. I'm just trying to stay positive, stay healthy, and keep entertaining. Just doing what I love, and hopefully you guys enjoy my new content.
Yeah, and I think especially people are uh, being quarantined at home. They probably search more, connecting through social media and various entertainment ways. I mean, just like us, we have to meet this way, but even though besides the distance between us. Um, but Hella Chluy, thank you so much for being here. It was
My
nice to get
pleasure.
to know you more, and yeah, we'll be in contact again.
Thank you so much,
Look,
Sion.
looking forward to more of your work out there online.
I appreciate you.
All right.